Welcome, Jesters. All right, we all know that Ketanji Brown Jackson is an idiot. And again, on behalf of Florida, I apologize. I really, really do. But her performance in front of, or her performance during the hearing over the Voting Rights Act really put it into perspective. And one of the things, I'm not even going to talk about how she thinks apparently black people are disabled. That's just crazy. And yes, that's what she meant. You don't go through this whole diatribe about the Americans with Disabilities Act and then use disabled when describing black voters and not mean that they are disabled. Right? At best, you could say she may have meant to say disenfranchised, but she didn't. And she just got finished using the Americans with Disabilities Act as an example. So yeah, it's not going to fly. Anyway, what I found particularly interesting was her use of a particular word that is not particularly common, and that is paradigmatic. Now, here's the thing. Shockingly, apparently she is correct in that pronunciation. Yeah, I actually had to look it up because it just sounded off. And the reason I say this, the reason I bring this up is because the only person who would actually use this word and I think actually pronounce it correctly is somebody who tried to do their homework to sound smart and looked it up, because the base word is paradigm. And I think most people who would just use it in casual speak when they were actually trying to express that concept would simply say paradigmatic. Because why would you say paradigmatic when the word is paradigm? And I really think that shows that she studied and she found a word that thought people would think she was smart by using and ended up sounding a little bit silly, because honestly, I know the lefties are going to come at me. Well, she said it's smart. She's apparently smarter than you. No. See, I wouldn't bother to look up the word. I would just say paradigmatic, because that would make most sense to people who just casually use complex speech, right? That's what I'm saying. It's unusual that she got it spelled correctly because it is such an anomaly, right? Nobody goes and looks this stuff up. And it is, by the way, a very uncommon word. I honestly can't recall ever hearing it at any time previous, but it is understandable, and it is a word that I could use simply by putting it together because I know how to speak English. So yes, what I'm saying is by saying it correctly, she actually exposed herself as somebody who has to prepare ahead of time to try and sound smart. Because, yeah, I don't actually think a normal person would do that. We would just say paradigmatic, right? And also, she stuttered. She stuttered when saying the word, which means she was really trying to say it correctly to sound smart. Yeah. Yes. Oh boy. Yeah. That auto pen. It's probably more damaging than Joe Biden. You know I'm right.